Hello friends, welcome to all. Today we will discuss about introduction to power quality and power quality terminology. Subject is power quality and management at SEM Electrical. First of all, what is definition of power quality? IEEE defines power quality as the concept of powering and grounding sensitive electronic equipment in a manner suitable for equipment. This definition is applies only for sensitive electronics equipment. So some people say that this is not generalized definition. So what is a simple definition? Simple definition is power quality is a set of electrical boundaries that allows a piece of equipment to function in its intended manner without significant loss of performance or life expectancy. This is simple definition. Now power quality terminology. First one is coupling. It is a process by which energy or electrical noise in one circuit can be transferred to another circuit that may or may not be electrically connected to it. This is known as coupling. Next one is Christ factor. It is the ratio between the peak value and the root mean square. It means RMS value of a periodic waveform. Figure indicates the Christ factor of periodic waveform. In this figure, here we can see peak value and here is a RMS value. So if we have to find Christ factor, we have to just take ratio of these two. So Christ factor for sine wave will be 1.414. Now another terminology is distortion. Qualitative term indicating the deviation of a periodic waveform from its ideal waveform characteristics. Figure contains an ideal sinusoidal wave along with a distorted wave. The distortion introduced in a wave can create waveform deformity as well as phase shift. So in this figure we can see two waveforms. One is ideal sine waveform and another one is waveform with distortion. So we can easily see the distorted waveform is no more sinusoidal. Its shape is somewhat irregular. So it is we can define this with using distortion factor. Now flicker. Variation of input voltage sufficient in duration to allow visual observation of a change in electric light source intensity. Quantitatively, flicker may be expressed as the change in voltage or nominal expressed as a percent. For example, if voltage at 120 volt circuit increases, it increases to 125 volt and then drops to 117 volt. The flicker is calculated from this equation. It will be 6.66%. So flicker is nothing but we can see from our naked eye that there is a dim or full in the light. Form factor, ratio between the RMS value and the average value of a periodic waveform. Form factor is another indicator of deviation of a periodic waveform from the ideal characteristics. So form factor is also related to waveform deviation. Another terminology is frequency. The frequency is number of complete cycles of a periodic wave in a unit time, usually 1 second. The frequency of electrical quantities such as voltage and current is expressed in hertz. Now next one is ground electrode. Conductor or a body of conductor is intimate contact with earth for the purpose of providing a connection with ground. So ground electrode is used for the purpose of providing a connection with the ground. Now harmonics. Sinusoidal component of a periodic wave having a frequency that is integral multiple of fundamental frequency. If the fundamental frequency is 60 Hz, then the second harmonic is a sinusoidal wave of 120 Hz. The fifth harmonic is a sinusoidal wave of 300 Hz and so on. So simply the frequency will be the multiply with the fundamental frequency and amplitude will be the division by the fundamental amplitude. Harmonic distortion. Quantitative representation of a distortion from a pure sinusoidal waveform. It is a quantitative representation of the distortion from a sinusoidal waveform. It is also known as total harmonic distortion. Now impulse. Traditionally used to indicate a short duration over voltage event with certain rise and fall characteristics. Standards have moved toward including the term impulse in the category of transients. Now inrush. Large current that a load draws when initially turned on is known as inrush current. For example, in induction motor, there is a starting current is 6 to 7 times the rated current. So it is also known as inrush current or surge current. Interruption. Complete loss of voltage or current for a time period is known as interruption. Isolation. Isolation means by which energized electrical circuits are uncoupled from each other. Two winding transformers with primary and secondary windings are one example of isolation between circuits. And actually, some coupling still exists in a two winding transformer due to capacitance between the primary and the secondary windings. So isolation is nothing but it divides two circuits. Linear loads. What is linear load? Electrical load which in steady state operation presents essentially constant impedance to the power source throughout the cycle of applied voltage. A purely linear load has only the fundamental component of the current present. Now noise. Electrical noise is unwanted electrical signal that produce undesirable effects in the circuit of control systems in which they occur. So it is nothing but unwanted electrical signal. Now susceptibility criteria. This is the second topic of this chapter. Now cause and effect. Power quality is the cause and the ability of the electrical equipment to function in power quality environment is the effect. The ability of the equipment to perform in installed environment is an indicator of immunity. Okay, now we will see this concept with these two figures. In first figure, we can see equipment immunity contour is inside the power quality contour. It means immunity contour is less than the power quality contour. So in this type of system, problem can be expected because immunity contour is less than the power quality contour. Now see in a second figure, here immunity contour is large and power quality contour is less. Or in other words, we can say power quality contour is inside the immunity contour. So this system functions satisfactorily. So we can do two things. Two methods for solving a power quality problem are to either make the power quality contour smaller so that it falls within the immunity contour, or make the immunity contour larger than the power quality contour. So this way we can make the system immune. Now treatment criteria. Solving power quality problem requires knowledge of which pieces or subcomponents of the equipment are susceptible. If a machine reacts adversely to a particular power quality problem, do we try to treat the entire machine or treat the subcomponent that is susceptible? Sometimes it may be more practical to treat the subcomponent than the power quality for the complete machine, but in other instances this may not be the best approach. So there is a two coincides. We have to decide for particular system which one is compatible. Power quality weak link. The reliability of a machine depends on the susceptibility of the component that has the smallest immunity mass. Even though the rest of the machine may be capable of enduring several power quality problems, a single component can render the entire machine extremely susceptible. So it can be seen in some critical instruments. So single component can lose many $1,000. So we have to define the power quality weak link. Now interdependence. Power quality interdependence means that two or more machines that could operate satisfactorily by themselves do not function properly when operating together in a power system. So several cases contribute to this occurrence. Some of the common cases are voltage fluctuations, waveform notching, ground loops, conductor or redirected electromagnetic interference, and transient impulses. So these are the cases where one event can affect in the neighbor equipment or near equipment. Power quality versus equipment immunity. All devices are susceptible to power quality. It means no device 100% immune. We know that. So the challenge therefore is to create a balance. We have to make balance between power quality and equipment immunity. Power quality and equipment immunity, two forces working in opposition. The object is then to create a balance between these two. We can assign power quality indices to the various locations in a power system. Okay, we can assign power quality indices to the power system and immunity indices to the loads. By matching the immunity index of a piece of equipment with the power quality index, we can arrive at a balance where all equipment in the power system can coexist and function adequately. So just we have to balance between these two because power quality and immunity both are opposite. Now, responsibilities of the suppliers and users of electrical power. Now first we will see the responsibilities of the suppliers. The realization of quality electrical power is the responsibility of the supplier and users of electricity. Suppliers are in the business of selling electricity to widely varying clientele. The need of one user are usually not the same as the need of the other users. Most electrical equipment is designed to operate within a voltage of plus or minus 5% of nominal with marginal decrease in performance. Okay, so this is the range of equipment. Also in urban areas, the utility frequencies are rarely outside of plus or minus zero point 0.1 Hz of the nominal frequency. This is well within the operating tolerance of most sensitive equipment. Utilities often perform switching operations in electrical substations to support the loads. So these are the responsibilities of the suppliers. This can generate transient disturbances at levels that will have an impact on electrical equipment. We know that the disturbances, transient disturbances is very short duration of times. While such transients generally go unnoticed, equipment failures due to these practices have been documented. Such events should be dealt with on a case by case basis. So these are the responsibilities for the supplier. Now responsibilities of the user of electrical power. So some issues that are relevant are energy conservation. So user or customer have to manage this energy conservation, then harmonic injection, power factor and surge current demands. These are the points and customer have to control all these 4 points. Given the condition that the utilities are becoming less able to keep up with the demand of electrical energy, it is incumbent on the power user to optimize use. Okay, so power user have to optimize all these components and energy conservation. Reference is taken from Power Quality book by C. Shankaran, CRC Press. Thank you.